sprung out of nowhere, but actually this beef started a very long time ago, back in 2006, but it just wasn't really shown to the public as much. Now Pusha T just dropped a new album titled Daytona, and on the last song on the album titled Infrared was a song that had some pretty clear shots at Drake. And to everyone's surprise, Drake also dropped a diss track called Duppy, firing right back at Pusha T. Now it's not very often that we'll actually see Drake fire back at a rapper or even get into any beef with any rapper. We've only really seen Drake get into a beef with another rapper, which was the Meek Mill situation. But where did all this beef even come from, and why is this happening, and what caused all of this? That's what we will be talking about in today's video, because it is kind of a mystery to a lot of you guys, so don't worry, I will break down every single thing for you guys. So believe it or not, this beef actually goes all the way back to 2006, which I'm pretty sure doesn't even make much sense because Drake didn't get too popular until like 2008, 2009, but this beef actually begins with Clips and Lil Wayne. Now for you guys who don't know, if you guys just like got into hip hop now, Clips is a legendary hip hop duo formed by brothers Pusha T and No Malice. I'm pretty sure I said his name right. And the beef between Clips and Lil Wayne began when Lil Wayne had a cover on a magazine where he was wearing a Bape hoodie. So if you guys know the clothing brand Bape, he was wearing a Bape hoodie on the cover of the magazine. I'll throw a picture up on the screen for you guys now. And at the time of 2006, the only people that were like really wearing Bape clothing were Clips, so Pusha T and No Malice, and a few others. They were pretty much known for wearing Bape. It was their style, as I said, and it was their thing. And then Lil Wayne shows up wearing the Bape hoodie in the magazine, so they kind of felt like Lil Wayne was trying to steal their style. So because of this, they decided to make a few bars dedicated to Lil Wayne dissing him on one of their tracks. Then a little time goes by, Pusha T in 2011 dropped a song which had some pretty direct shots at both Lil Wayne and Drake in it. So this is where Drake actually comes into play. He comes into the mix at the time around 2011. So in 2011, Drake is obviously very popular by releasing a ton of songs that went completely viral. So with Drake being under Lil Wayne's Young Money Cash Money record label, Drake ends up being dragged into this beef whether he likes it or not. So he's in this beef right now with Pusha and Wayne. Now the beef went a little calm for like a little while, then Drake had some songs with some sneak disses that could have been pretty much directed to anybody, but a lot of people think that it was just directed to Pusha T, but no one really knows for sure. A lot of his lines could pretty much be like mean anything, but on his song Tuscan Leather off of his Nothing Was the Same album, there were shots at Pusha T, so he said in the song, "Born a perfectionist, guess that makes me a bit obsessive. That stuff I heard from you lately really relieved some pressure. Like AB, I got your CD, you get an E for effort, and I piece the letters together and get talking reckless." Now as we said earlier, these lines could really just be directed to anybody, but Pusha T actually responded to this song in a more direct way to this song. And Pusha T responded saying these lyrics in one of his songs. He again dropped some pretty clear shots at Drake. He says, "It's too far gone when the people ain't real. I walk amongst the clouds so your ceiling ain't real. These people Call of Duty cause their killings ain't real. With a questionable pen so the feeling ain't real." Now things in these lines were pretty direct to Drake. So this brings us into today pretty much, because they didn't really release anything about each other or any sneak disses in any of their songs until today. Pusha T releases his new album titled Daytona with the song Infrared, which sends more shots at Drake, and then Drake releases a surprise diss track called Duppy Freestyle, and then Pusha T releases another diss track called The Story of Adidon. I don't really know how to pronounce that, so I'm just gonna stop now before I get roasted in the comments for that. But The Story of Adidon, which is a 3-minute song which basically just goes into Drake's complete past and all of his secrets that he's hiding, that he has like a baby mama that works in the adult industry, and he even calls out Drake for being like a deadbeat father to his child by barely even going around to see the kid. I really do not know how to pronounce his diss track name, by the way, so I'm just gonna say that now, so I'm very sorry. But to answer just the main question on how did this all start, now this basically all started because Lil Wayne wore a Bape hoodie in a magazine photo shoot in 2006. So yes, this is pretty much how it started. Believe it or not, I just did like literally 2.5 hours of research finding all of this stuff. I even had to dig back through past magazines to find the photo of Lil Wayne on it. This is actually kind of crazy to even think about how this big of beef would have started just because somebody wore a certain hoodie in a photo shoot. but I guess times were different back then. You couldn't do things like how other people would do it. Like Lil Pump, all he wears is pretty much his Gucci. Just because he wears Gucci doesn't mean nobody else can nowadays. But maybe it was different back then. People could only wear a certain clothing if they were allowed to by the person who started it. I really do not know, but it's just a really silly way to start beef in my opinion. But this beef is definitely getting interesting because now Pusha T just released his like really good like he pretty much went in on Drake. Like I will have to admit, this diss track was insane that he went on Drake. Now I guess we kind of just have to wait for Drake to respond. If he responds, maybe he'll respond with a new song on his album Scorpion. We really do not know. But I am interested to see what you guys do think about this. So if you guys are interested in talking about this beef, make sure you guys comment down below and just make sure to talk each other in the comments. I will be down there too, talking to everybody, seeing everybody's thoughts on the beef. Anyways guys, it has been District Trending and I'm out. Peace.